You're actually not going to believe this.
Our bare root strawberry freezer or chiller decided to power off.
Upon going into one said container, the full batch was basically dead.
And unfortunately, we've lost around £30,000 of product.
Plants are fragile, just like any business is fragile. All it takes is for one batch to fail, and then you're right back to the start again.
In a nutshell, we are a leading online gardening retailer.
We've been friends for years, so we're really close.
Dave's a real family man. He loves nothing more than spending time with his wife and his kids.
Craig is very much into the detail and perfectionism. Sometimes find Craig quite frustrating because of his attention to detail.
You're being polite there, aren't you?
I'm being very polite, yeah.
Kenny's more serious, shall we say. If Kenny was a plant, he would be a cactus. Prickly on the outside and soft on the inside.
The initial conversation for Gardener's Dream, Kenny, David and I recognising the potential for Amazon and Amazon ads to sell online. Physical garden centre stores typically stuck to the kind of localised sales. The three of us together probably seen that opportunity. Fast forward to 2025, Amazon ads makes up more than 60% of our £25 million revenue. Amazon ads has certainly been a big focus. We can see the potential and the growth. The ad campaigns and the volume of sales have grown exponentially. If you focus on it, you can make it very worthwhile.
In terms of the varieties of plants that we have in stock at any time, it's in the thousands.
First site here is 8 acres of glass, and then we have a second site of outside space, and then a third site which is going to have some polytunnel space. We had decided to expand into the EU for the potential. We certainly felt Europe was the next big growth step. Amazon ads itself is very easy to work with, so if your learnings are good for the UK, it can certainly work in other countries as well.
I think at the time you're always naive and you don't really see where it could go. It's testament to show the effort that we've put into it.
You can see it straight away. What's happened is it's went off and basically all the plants have kind of went to mush, which means they are dead.
We've let that happen. You've wasted that plant's life, technically. It makes you feel a wee bit deflated. You already have stuff going on, and now this is just another problem that's arisen. Although I'm angry, my brain just switches into what are we going to do.
The main thing will be to source if we can get actually alternatives straight away, because it is obviously a bit into the season. That stock was to do as all season.
It would be important, obviously, to protect sales, so leave them online until such time we've got fresh planted stock ready and available.
I think we'll be able to do that, but just how quickly we can get the stock in.
April to June is ultimately our peak period. We probably do about 40% of our revenue in these 3 months of the year. Because it is our peak period, you feel as though you are forever chasing your tail and there's never enough hours in the day to get everything done.
Talk to me when we've got the space, right? Talk to me about stuff.
Complain about everything.
I do complain about everything.
There are no strawberries that are double the height.
We're not got
Not
any of
rooted.
the... Not rooted.
Well, that's not...
What are you saying, Dad?
I'm just about to happen.
So it needs to be fully rooted, because if it isn't, then the soil's loose and it's really difficult to ship. You want the customer to be able to release it from the pot and go straight into the ground rather than having loose soil around.
It's very easy to fall out. We're almost like work wives with each other, but I think with the relationship we have, it's very easy to fall back in.
Hi, Toes. You saying hi?
This is Tilly.
Balancing work with home life is difficult, especially at this time of year.
Even when you leave the office, you don't necessarily leave the office. Whether that's you're on emails, messages, phone calls, That's the challenging aspect of it. Sometimes it does come into your family time, and that's where you've got to kind of try and draw lines at some point.
We all have strong families behind us. You know, they provide that support network, because we probably wouldn't be able to do what we did and give the commitment that we do without that. But, you know, you do have home life challenges as well, and sometimes you have to step in and put that first. About 7 years ago, my wife and I lost our little girl when she was 3.5. So that was really difficult to get over. It happened actually, the anniversary was just 2 days ago. So yeah, that was tough.
You can talk about it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't even begin to imagine.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Yeah.
You probably don't talk about these things enough, to be honest. She got a lot of care from a charity in Scotland called Chaz. So as a couple and as a business, we support Chaz as often as we can. We've named a plant after Emmy that we sell. It's a pink dahlia. They have a couple of really good respite centres where they have lots of grounds, lots of gardens, so all the siblings and things can go. It's a great environment. So we support by providing plants where we can.
What's really important to Chaz is the garden.
Yeah.
Children who can't really go outside all that often, they might be in their beds or they might be in their chairs and they can go out into the fresh air.
Green, safe space, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I think it's really important.
And they're massively appreciative of that.
Yeah. Life does have a way of putting things into perspective, and it's your family and your friends and your support network that really means the most at that point in time. Right, so this is the batch here.
Let's see the roots on this.
There you go.
Much better. Happy days, happy customers.
There you go, Dave.
Let's get them out the door.
Yeah.
Can I get a quick moment to discuss strawberries with you? That's okay.
Sure.
So, in terms of Amazon ads, we've had an issue with strawberries where we've lost a lot of strawberries due to the problem with the electricity in the freezer. And I'd like to see how we can push sales for them now that we've grown our own strawberries, but we also have a surplus of strawberries from our supplier. You have to act upon different trends, and maybe there's a volume spike in a product that you didn't quite expect, where you can utilise Amazon ads to push those sales further.
Yes, we can. You have said that we have a surplus. We need to increase the bidding, show ad on the top of the page specifically for strawberries so that we can increase our sales.
Excellent.
Hello. Yes, it's quite a lot.
How many is a lot, Dave?
1,938 plants currently sitting in pre-order state.
Oh my God.
Part of the problem with the strawberries going off in the freezer, rather than take something offline, we've put it on that kind of pre-order status, which keeps it online so you don't lose your momentum. So we're trying to see if we can sort the stock out in a short-term fix today to get all the orders out today, so that those customers won't be disappointed and it'll meet their delivery deadlines. We were lucky enough that obviously Kenny was able to source a grower pretty quickly. Cheers for that, Pally. You're always going to get problems, but it's learning from those mistakes and making sure they don't keep on reoccurring. I'm going to start having nightmares about strawberries soon.
I can see the light of day on Strawberry Gate, and thankfully we managed to short-term have the supply fixed for our customers, and then now the grown strawberry product is again flourishing.
It's cool, isn't it? We still have a lot to expand. There's so many areas of plants, and it already feels as if you've got loads of product, but I don't think we've covered half of it yet.
My advice would always just be push the boundaries, work as hard as you can, because there's no substitute for hard work.
Giving something a go was never a bad thing.
If something happens, something goes wrong, you know, dealt with a lot worse.
It's not just a plant that we are selling. Somebody's putting that in their garden for their children to watch grow, and that whole family aspect. It's like spending time in your garden with your family. It's actually a really nice place to be.